Hello, and thanks for joining me in another shave. It's August 31st, 2025, which means it's the final day of austere August for me. All month I've been using the same setup. I've been using Stirling Soap Company's Irisch Moos in the Mutton tallow, oops, there it is, the Mutton tallow edition, specially made for the Wetshaving subreddit. I've been using the Irisch Moos Aftershave, as well as the real thing Irish Moos as a Cologne. Most importantly, challenge-wise for me, I've been using this Koraat 14 2.0 razor all month with no stropping. We call this razor, this was again a special razor made for the Wetshaving subreddit. And I honed this razor July 31st and have used it all month without stropping. I've been showing you microscope images of the edge every week. So here is a microscope image of the edge after the 28th shave. And that has also been added to my album of edge photos that is linked in the description. Today at the 31st shave, I decided that it would be interesting to see what the edge feels like after stropping and have that be the only variable. So the 31st shave here is exactly the same as all other 30 shaves, except that I have stropped the edge on the razor. So the stropping that I did was 40 laps on a flax linen, and then 80 laps on leather. And here's what the edge looks like now. Okay, so let's get started. All month I've been enjoying Sugar Daddy Shave's journey through August, and with his marathon Nasset blade, he's now, as of me talking here on day 31, he's now at 606 shaves, or about to do his 606th shave on the same razor, on the same blade rather. I think that blade is just starting to get broken in. I think he's probably got another 600 or so shaves left on it, especially if he flips it to the other side. But let's get going here. I've been using this Zenith brush. This is a Boar brush. I started on day one with this brush and coming right out of the box, and then have simply used it every day, no break-in. Most of the time I've been doing what we call a slurry lather, my version of a slurry lather, something that Sugar Daddy invented or rediscovered. I suspect that there's not a lot new probably in this, so he may have rediscovered this, but I learned the technique from him. What I do it a little differently. I swirl a fair amount, and I do it to try to get a little suds going in the bottom, but I do all the swirling to start with the tips of the brush. And sometimes that magic works and sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to wet the face and get going. an important aspect for me in both slurry lather and my normal method, which is pretty much a slurry lather, is to start with my beard completely saturated with a with an emulsion of soap and water. My feeling is that emulsion will dry out, so the lather that I put on top sort of seals in that super slick layer. Now, as you can see, I'm building the lather mostly with the tips of the brush, not really splaying it a lot, and this will be the drippiest and that the lather will be, and it's already, because of the preparation, my skin is already very slick. Alright, let's see what this razor with stropped edge feels like after 30 shaves of no stropping. Yeah, as I suspected. I do feel a little difference. It feels a little bit more, the edge feels a little tighter somehow. Not a tremendous amount keener. But good. Just a little less, maybe a little less blunt. I'd say it's cutting a little better. Very comfortable. But the improvement is subtle for me. Now I have a lot coming up in September. I have two new to me razors. Another Philharmonica '14, and a brand new Wolf Blades. And before I get to those, I have some razors that have an Olympus edge on them that I want to try. Also have some new soaps. So September will be a a month of variety after August being a month of austerity. Okay, next stage in our modification of the slurry lather. I put the brush like this on the sink here, and water and suds gets on the handle and needs to be washed off. Now, this being the second pass is where I'm going to splay a little bit more, work some of the lather that's in the tips into the moisture that's more embedded towards the center of the brush. But I'm not going to overdo it. I don't need a thick lather, but I want enough to be luxurious. And of course, slick. If I underdo the hydration in the brush when I start, this would be where I would add water. But as you'll see, I want this. You'll see why in a minute. I want this. The lather for this pass needs to have a little structure and not be too drippy. And here is why. See where my hand is and the orientation of the blade? If this lather drips down the blade, you can see where it's going to go. It's going to go right into the pivot, right onto my hand. And that's going to make the razor a little bit harder to keep free of rust, and it's going to make my hand a little bit harder to hold on to the razor. And the second bit is of importance when you're using a straight razor. So this is part of why I tailor the slurry lather to my own purposes. But the principle's the same. I'm really not building the lather on my face. I'm building it in the brush as I apply it to my face. The edge continues to feel a little smoother, a little less rough than it was. It's cutting about the same, which has never been bad, but definitely over the 31 days or over the 30 days has gotten less keen, but that's all right, not a lot less. Have I learned anything in austere August? I'd say nothing terribly new. Kind of reinforced things I already knew, and that's nice. For me, it's nice to have the simplicity of using a setup that you enjoy for the month of August. None of that, what am I going to use today, pressure. Which can be a pressure if you have a lot of stuff. For me at least, there's a feeling of wanting to make sure I use everything because I like everything that I own. And I have an excuse. with Austere August to not have to worry about that. Now, as I did before, always re-wetting. I say between passes, I like to start every pass with a very wet face. And now we should have a very mature lather. We're going full splay. And the reason for that is the lather has now mixed pretty well with the water. So in full splay, I want the lather to flow through the brush. And I haven't talked about this brush too much, but breaking a brush in, starting out of the box, just directly shaving with it, a Boar brush, we call that raw hogging. And this brush, after day 7, this is the easiest time I've ever had with raw hogging. This brush felt broken in after 7 days, and as I said, I've done this this is the 4th time I've done this. Yeah, you can see I've got a pretty good, very mature lather, and for me this is slightly pasty. So I'm going to dip the tips here, paint in some hydration, and while I don't need to, I'll build a little luxury. After 31 uses, this brush is, the tips on this brush are absolutely soft, and the brush is not broken in. It'll be probably as mature as it's going to get broken in wise around 100 shaves. And so I'm just very excited to find out what this brush is going to be like, because it's phenomenal right now. Okay, so as you can see, no problems with running out of soap for the third lather. That's why I decided to build it a little bit. Now I'm going to hydrate it some more, because I need this to be, this is my 3rd pass. I want this to be nice and slick. All right, third time for the 3rd pass here. I have really enjoyed doing 3 passes again. I did 3 passes almost all of August. There were a couple of days where I couldn't. But I wanted to really test the edge. Last year when I did this, I only did 2 pass shaves all month. Really comfortable. I would say definitely that the stropping made a difference. Really noticing it more on this pass. Hard to talk when I'm doing this part. I've truly enjoyed Irish Moos. I definitely have not finished the tub, but I'd say I have at least 2 more months in it. And I definitely look forward, even though I've used it straight, I definitely look forward to using it again. I have not become tired of it. Yeah, that's a closer shave than yesterday. Super comfortable. So stropping, a little stropping after 31 shaves, I would say helped me. Let's see here. Let me wipe off. Yep, I'm gonna have to pause. I need to go get my Thayers tonic. I'm gonna put on Thayers cucumber tonic, clean up, and then I will be right back. All right, everything is cleaned up. I have some Thayers cucumber tonic on my face. Here's a look at the progress. 31 shaves now with this Zenith Boar brush. This is a 28 millimeter diameter Boar brush. I mean, look at this thing. it's out there. Super soft already. Let's dry that off. And we're going to go for the Irisch Moos Aftershave. So what is my conclusion about using a blade without stropping it? Well, I think there's 3 things that contribute. First, boy, that's nice. Definitely going to miss this scent. I'm going to have to revisit it soon. 3 things that contribute to being able to go 31 days without stropping. Number 1 would be the steel. The steel that Ulrich at Koraat uses is simply excellent, and I was banking on that. The second thing, given great steel, you need a very strong edge, a good, well-formed edge, and I lucked out and managed to do that one myself. And then finally is technique, making sure that you're not digging around on your face too much, trying to cut hair only on the face to limit the amount of stress that the edge receives. But I think primarily it's the steel. I'm going to use the Cologne now, the Irisch Moos Cologne. Man, terrific month. Terrific month. First up at bat for September is a soap by Eric, the Cajun Blade. I won't tell you which one. You get to see it when I use it. Probably tomorrow. Today is Sunday in the U.S. and part of Labor Day weekend. So I hope those of you in the U.S. Are having a good Labor Day weekend. And for the rest, watching today on a Sunday, I hope you've had a great weekend. and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.